Welcome, everyone, to the Meaningful Hearts Podcast, where we discuss the everyday questions that make us or break us if we let them. With your hosts, Drew and Daniela. Take our hands and let's walk this journey together. Welcome back to another episode of the Meaningful Hearts Podcast. And today I want to kind of just briefly go over something that popped into my head the other day through having a conversation with a close friend. And the topic is how to, move on or move forward with your life. Kind of when is the right time to leave? When is the right time to move on with your life when you're in a relationship or you have relationships with people that you've known your whole life, family, friends? When's a good time to move away from that? Now, I'm not saying you have to cut people off to the extent of, tell them to go fuck off. Nobody's saying that. I mean, it might be that. It might be so hostile. The relationship might be so bad that you might have to do that, I guess, right? All I'm saying is, at what point do you look at your own health, mental space and say, this person is not good for me to be around. This person's behaviors with others as well as with me are not helping. They're making things worse. They're adding to baggage. They're adding to issues in my life. It's adding a strain to my mental capacity. At what point do you say, I need to do this for me? When does that time come? Now, most people won't come to this crossroads because they'll just say, if it's a family member, family's family, and you never abandon family, or friends that they've had, loyalty to, or friendships they've had for 20, 30 years or whatever it is. Through thick and thin, we've always been there for each other, and I just can't do that. But in the end of the day, not all relationships are meant to last. Some of them are meant to end. Some of them have served their purpose in their lifetimes and are set to end. They have an end date, some of them. It's a harsh reality, but I think that it's important to look at that. It's important to understand that because we have our own lives to live. We have to be the best version of ourselves, right? This whole podcast, this whole understanding of what we're doing, right, is to serve others, but also to serve ourselves and love ourselves. Because if we don't love ourselves, then we can't be the best versions of ourselves. And I think a lot of us stick around way too long. I'm a victim. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of keeping myself around longer than I should have. I did this with my family. I did this with friends. I did this with relationship, like loving relationships, right? Or, romantic relationships, right? I did this with all types. It wasn't serving in a healthy way. I am deteriorating, whether I know it or not. I'm not getting better. I'm getting worse. And you need to realize that walking away from that is going to help you be better. You want to live a long, healthy life, a meaningful life, and be able to give this love that you have to others. You also have to love yourself and respect yourself enough to walk away. And not to say that the relationship might be over, but you might have to pivot from that relationship and move away. And maybe that relationship will mend itself. It will become better. But we won't know that unless we have some contrast of what it's like to be away from that. And it's hard. We have family members that are codependent on us, possibly, which is not a great thing. We're in difficult situations that we're in, and we're like, damn, how am I going to get out of this? I'm kind of counted on. But it's okay to be selfish in this way. It's okay to, because if you deteriorate, you're helping one person, but you're not helping yourself. What happens? Who's going to come help you? So somebody loses in this. Now, it's up to somebody else to carry their burdens and take care of themselves, as well as it's your job to take care of yourself. But you do have to really make this decision for yourself. You have to step up to this. This is a difficult decision. It's very hard. I did this for a few years. I was there for my mom and my sister and my nephew, and helping my sister out with my nephew and being there and watching him, take care of him. But in reality, I wasn't making any movement in my life. I wasn't getting any better. And the situation at home was very hostile between my mother, between my sister. It was bad. Now leaving, I was leaving my nephew behind. Like I helped raise him, but I also had to realize that there's a good portion that it's not my responsibility. I made it my responsibility, but I'm not his father. He has a father. I have to be his uncle. And for me to be better and come back and to help others, I have to be my best self. So I had to make the decision to step away. And there was arguments, there was fights about it because people became so codependent on me. They forgot what their job was to do, right? So I had a battle and I felt guilty and I felt bad about it. But ultimately, coming and stepping away from that situation, I was able to grow in so many ways and mentally feel better, healthier, be able to sleep better, be able to expand my wings and fly, be able to do a lot more. And there was no way that I could do it where I was. So it was a leap that I had to take. And it was a tough one. Now in your relationships, as far as personal relationships, loving, like as far as your love life is concerned, same thing. Not everybody's meant to stay around. And it's a hard decision when you're in love with somebody, you care about someone, but you have to look at the bigger picture. Who can I be out of this relationship? Who was I before I came to this relationship? So a lot of things you have to look at and say, you know what? It's time for me to be better. I'm tired of feeling like this, and get away from it and grow and be better. It's okay to love somebody from a distance. Not all situations end up and you never speak to that person again, but sometimes it happens that way because you guys you're as far as what was there or at what point and where it is now is no longer, and that is okay. We have to make peace with that. I'm not here to ramble. I just figured I would give you a little reminder that you are special and that you are loved and that you need to love yourself before you can love others to their best ability. Thank you all for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.